We look back on last night's emotional, heartfelt Brodie Lee tribute show.
Brodie Lee Jr. has been named TNT champion for life.
Zicky Dice could be becoming All Elite.
NXT year-end awards, everything you need to know.
And the Dusty Classic is returning in 2021.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil Chambers and I am joined by Andrew Pollard to go through all of today's wrestling news. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you think of all of today's stories, and links to each story is in the timestamps in the description. So first up, what have we got, Andrew?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think anybody that watched last night's AEW Dynamite, there will not be a dry eye in the house. We expected it to be emotional. And it was. I have no problem admitting I bored like a baby for 2+ hours, going back and rewatching segments. AEW did everybody involved in AEW, the management, the roster, did such a brilliant job, a beautiful, poignant job of paying tribute to Brodie Lee, to John Huber, a man who clearly meant so much to so many people. Just from the opening moments when it opened up Dynamite with a 10-bell salute, which had everybody from AEW on the stage, and the wife and 2 sons of John Huber, Brodie Lee. And from there, the first match, as soon as you see Colt Cabana come into the ring, and it's just like, it hits you straight away again, just how the 10-bell salute was rough. It was brilliantly done. It was nicely done. It was a great touch, but it was a hard watch. And then the first thing you see after that is, you see John Moxley cuts a promo. That's not fair. He cuts a very heartfelt, genuine, sincere words of love and respect for his deceased friend, who he traveled the roads with from the bingo halls, the independent scenes, to WWE, to AEW. And yeah, the first match, the first person you see come out is Colt Cabana, who's clearly obviously struggling to keep it together. And it was throughout the show, there was so many nice tributes, whether it's in ring, whether it was the comments from people. There was comments from Eddie Kingston, from Chris Jericho, from Dax Harwood, from Bryce Remsburg, referee who goes all the way back to Chikara and beyond with Brodie Lee. It was, God, man, it was tough. But it was so well handled. And Erick Rowan, Eric Redbeard, as I believe he's known as now, making his, whether it's a one-off appearance or it's going to lead to something further down the line, I don't think anybody really cares right now. It was cool to see him there on Dynamite to pay tribute to somebody who he was a tag team partner with for so many years in the Wyatt family, as the Bludgeon Brothers, winning NXT championships, the tag team championships, the SmackDown tag team championships. So to see him appear and help out the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Hangman Page against the 3D Inner Circle, MJF, and Santana and Ortiz. That was a really nice touch, and again, just very emotional seeing him holding a sign up about seeing his brother soon. And yeah, oh man, it was just gut punch after gut punch, but so well done. And bizarrely, not bizarrely, it was the AEW still managed to have a wrestling show in this, as in there was still heels. The Dark Order went over clean. It was a clean sweep for the Dark Order. Anybody involved with the Dark Order got a win, including 10 Preston Vance in the main event. But it was, they had people playing heels. MJF was mouthing off to Brodie Jr., who was in the audience, and then that led to, eventually that comes, the payback on that is Brodie Jr. gets to hit MJF with a kendo stick, which ties into the finish of the match. Dr. Britt Baker was a heel. Eddie Kingston comes out and he cuts a heartfelt brief, some words about his friend and about he'll see him soon, and then he switches it onto heel, and it's like, yeah, the Dark Order, I'm going to prove you nothing about Brodie Lee. They managed to have this beautiful tribute in the confines of an actual wrestling show, where it was so well done. So well done. And obviously the end segment where you forget that it's like Darby Allin and Sting were on this show, and it kind of, that was an afterthought, because it's like Sting's there. Darby Allin paid a great tribute to him as well early on, to Brodie Lee, but Sting's on this show, this icon, this person who the rest of the business has been talking about for the last month non-stop. And it didn't matter. It was great to see Sting, but it was just, that is that afterthought, because after that came, we had Cody, again, just such emotional words in the ring, bringing Brodie Lee Jr. out. And yeah, then that video package to end it, Tony Khan giving Brodie Lee Jr. the TNT title, which we'll get to in a second, for life. And just the video package to end it is, if you didn't well up watching that last night's Dynamite, you have no heart. This is clearly a special person that did so much for so many people. And man, the AEW, the way they handled it was just a phenomenal job from all involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really great show. Just, again, we've said it, I think, on every news video this week, but it just shows how much he meant to everyone, like in every life that he's touched along the way. He's meant so much to each person. And they managed to have this amazing tribute show to him and to his, like, with his family and things. But also, like you say, like they celebrated in the joy of wrestling within it as well, which obviously meant so much to him and so much to his son. And yeah, that final ending where like Cody Rhodes cut this big emotional promo about what Brodie meant to him, and then he welcomed out his son, who came out to Brodie's music, and he was wearing a Dark Order mask, and he put Brodie's boots in the middle of the ring, and there's just like a spotlight from the top, and then Tony Khan got on the mic and he said, in honor of like the greatest TNT champion ever, no offense, Cody Rhodes, but yeah, he names Brodie Lee Jr. the TNT champion for life, gives him the belt, puts it on his shoulder, and yeah, then like you say, that big tribute video at the end, it was just absolutely brilliant. But the TNT championship itself, it is being retired. Now, not the championship, sorry, the belt design is being retired. So yeah, obviously Darby Allin is the TNT champion at the minute. So we expect to see a new TNT championship design appear at some point, probably on the 13th of January when he's facing up against Brian Cage in that New Year's Dash event. But that red TNT championship that we've come to know and love, that is Brodie Lee Jr.'s for life now, which again, just that along with signing him ready for whenever he comes into wrestling, like it's just such a nice touch.
Yeah, classy. It's just it's a classy thing to do, and you know it's genuine as well. It's not just some PR stunt. It's not just this will get people talk about how great AEW is. Yeah, it will, but you know it's coming from a place of sincerity, and a genuine place of AEW wanting to look after this family who've obviously lost their husband, their father figure, well, their father. And yeah, just again, another classy touch from AEW. And obviously Brodie Jr. is signed to AEW for as and when he chooses, if he chooses to go into the wrestling business in 10 years time, 20, I don't know. Well, he's 8 years old, so who knows what lies ahead there. But I think now it's just the time for, obviously the family can grieve, the wrestling world can grieve, and God, man. Yeah, it's hard to talk about anything else now. It's like, I love Zicky Dice, but now I've got to kind of pump myself up to talk about Zicky Dice, and I love me some Zicky Dice, but it's just like, it's such a hard hitting all of this. But yes, Zicky Dice, right, liven it up a bit. The outlandish Zicky Dice is somebody who, if Fightful Select is to be believed, and to be fair, they're normally pretty nailed on with their news, Zicky Dice is hoping to land in All Elite Wrestling, is hoping to become All Elite. Zicky Dice, if you're not familiar with him, why are you not familiar with him? The guy has charisma, greasy, cheesy, awful, tacky charisma oozing from every pore in the best possible way. Now he is, as of this recording, he is technically contracted to the NWA, but that contract runs out today. This is New Year's Eve, we're recording this. Now Zicky Dice is somebody who turned up in the NWA in December of last year. For anybody who saw NWA Power, he instantly captures your attention, your imagination, as this slime ball heel, and it's great, with horrible, awful neon outfits and everything that just makes your skin crawl, in the best possible way. Again, now he did defeat Ricky Starks, who is in AEW now, of course, to become the NWA TV champion in, I believe it was March of this year. He dropped that title to the Pope, Elijah Burke, in October. Now, the interesting one here with Zicky Dice is that the NWA early this year, because of 2020 being what it is, they offered to grant their talent a release. If anybody wanted to be released, they could be released. Zicky Dice asked for his release, but was refused that request. Now, at the time, he was the TV champ, so obviously that's probably played into that. But now his contract expires today. AEW, WWE, and Impact Wrestling are all supposedly interested in Zicky Dice. They've got varying levels of interest. But he himself wants to go, if these stories are to be believed, wants to go to All Elite Wrestling. And it just remains to be seen how much interest AEW does have in him. I think AEW would be a great home for him. I think Impact would be a great home for him. And WWE, I don't know. I think it's one of those where, because he is such a unique gimmick here in 2020, which will soon be 2021, of course, tomorrow. Jesus, that's there now. Yeah, I think it's one of those where his gimmick, you know what WWE would tinker with that. He couldn't be outlandish Zicky Dice. He might have the name, he might have the nickname, but I just think that the presentation of him would change. Even if it went to NXT, I think they changed too much of him for him not to be the Zicky Dice we've come to know and love, or know and hate as a heel. So yeah, maybe he goes to AEW. That seems to be where he's got his sights on. And I think whoever gets Zicky Dice has got a star in the making. He's just entertaining. He's engaging. He grabs your attention. You want to boo him, which it's rare in wrestling these days to be a heel. So wherever he ends up, somebody's got a great get there, and yeah, maybe it's all elite, and hopefully, I think that'd be a really good fit for him. Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot of upside there, so hopefully wherever he lands, he does very, very well. But also last night, going up against that Brodie Lee episode was the NXT year-end awards. I mean, I don't think they're going to have a chance of beating that Brodie Lee episode in the ratings, but they only had to put something on, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to run through all of the year-end awards for you. So the event of the year was War Games, which I think is fair enough. The rivalry of the year, Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. Breakout star is Shotzi Blackheart. The tag team of the year is Undisputed Era. Female competitor of the year is Io Shirai. Male competitor of the year, Adam Cole, quite obviously. Match of the year, which I think is the best one here, is Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. That was bloody good, and I love Kyle O'Reilly. Future star of the year, Austin Theory, named in the Speaking Out movement, but we'll just skip past that, I guess. And overall competitor of the year is Io Shirai. So yeah, that's all your NXT end of year awards.
Yeah, you do. I mean, normally I watch NXT and I watch AEW back to back first thing on a Thursday morning. No interest in NXT this week, and it's no disrespect to the talent of NXT, but absolutely, this week's all about Brodie Lee. And yeah, I think the awards, I guess, kind of seem fair. The Future Star Award, as you said, Austin Theory, and the Breakout Star, as with Shotzi Blackheart, I don't know. I think there's maybe a better option there, but then you think who? But yeah, Io Shirai cleaning up, Undisputed Era cleaning up, Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly is the match of the year, which lovely, brutal, beautiful, that match. And I can't wait to see it again early next year and New Year's Evil. So yeah, we do get that match again, which would be good. But speaking of NXT, last night, which I'm sure probably most people missed because again, there's so much focus and attention would have been on AEW last night, but NXT have announced that the Dusty Classic is returning in 2021. To be precise, it will commence on January the 13th, the January 13th episode of NXT TV. So far, only one team is announced, and that is Undisputed Era, who will be represented by Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. So Adam Cole's won this before with Kyle O'Reilly back in 2017, possibly 18. I don't know the years, but I don't even know what day it is right now. So there could be some slack on the years, but yeah. Undisputed Era looking to repeat. I think the rest of the teams for the tournament will be announced on next week's NXT. So I mean, we can pretty much guess. I'd imagine most of the teams that be in there. I'm sure only Lurch, Danny Burch, and Only Lorcan will be involved. And there's a few other teams in NXT, obviously, and maybe somebody gets pulled in for the main roster. Maybe Breezango, I'm sure, will be in there. I'd love to see Everrise. I'd love to see Everrise go on and win the whole thing. I love me some Everrise. And Phantasma's team will be representing, I'm sure. But yeah, this will be the sixth Dusty Classic, which sounds crazy because whether I was right about this morning, it was okay. Yeah, so I ran through my head of there's 3 previous winners, and then thought I'd just double check. It's Authors of the Pain, they won it. I completely forgot about that. Alistair Black and Ricochet, they won it. Forgot all about that. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne won it last year. The Broserweights, and then the first winners going back to 2015, 16 was Samoa Joe and Finn Balor as well. So yeah, the Dusty Classic is back for NXT January the 13th, and yeah, it's hard to get enthusiastic about it because it's just I don't know, man, that Dynamite hit hard. It's gonna be but yeah, the Dusty Classic's back. Yeah,
absolutely. And that is all the news for today. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Film My Chambers, and you can follow Andrew
at Cultured Left Peg.
And you can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what you think of all of today's stories. But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day and have yourselves a bloody good new year, I guess, as well. That's quite exciting. See you in 2021.